Hello.
Hello.
You're good. Is John here?
Yep.
You mind if I talk to him for a moment?
Sure. He didn't do anything.
I'm not saying he did.
He didn't.
Would you trust LIEnette, George?
I've never trusted LIEnette from the moment that I met her with her fake tears and fake crying.
What about Lieutenant MacInLIAR? Would you trust him?
MacInLIAR, he's the one that needs to stay in his lane.
Well, yeah, definitely completely and totally out of his lane. And Levy County Sheriff Office has deliberately, intentionally not provided us this public information of this recording. Rather interesting, don't you think?
Yeah, we record requested it so that we can have the police report along with the audio cam because they don't wear body cams, so that we can utilize it for the Ohio courts for what did Crook do that violated the CPO?
Well, I'm going to show you exactly what Crook did once we see what happens between Lieutenant MacInLIAR and LIEnette and Crook and Andrew Campbell. Oh, what kind of things has Andrew Campbell gotten himself into?
Oh, you mean the one that doesn't live on the property but lives on the property?
You mean LIEnette's mom died, but she didn't die? Deuce is in, but he's not on the lawsuit?
No one's ever been arrested, but John's been arrested?
Let's dig in.
Got it.
We have proof.
Yeah, I don't have to come all the way in.
2 people were out here.
It don't matter.
They yelled at me to get my kids. Stopped in front of our driveway. John and Andrew were out here pulling back up the stream. So the whole stream fell during the thunderstorm. I had the baby out here, so John yelled, "Get the kids, put them in." And Hales called cops.
Keep track of everything. I mean, what are you going to do? He's going to do what he's going to do. And if they come, he'll answer their questions and so on.
Did you notice that LIEnette seems to be talking to another very long, pointed nose, corrupt, very disgusting individual?
What I heard is she's on speakerphone with an individual who sounds very much like the junk stoned lawyer.
Oh,
The
is that
junk
dude?
stone lawyer.
Oh, who does YouTube fodder? Oh, yes.
Yes, that would be him.
Yes, who actually stalks our lives, harasses everybody in our lives, then tells the world that this lawsuit's all going to be so easily dismissed, and yet the coward then goes and runs. That'd be none other than Deuce.
The guy who got fired but really wasn't fired.
Oh,
who's
Judge.
afraid of getting arrested.
I'm afraid to come to
is
Pensacola.
in contempt of court.
I can't go to Pensacola, Judge. Even though in a previous filing, I was waiting to come to Pensacola.
I mean, I think we've figured out why he was afraid to come to Pensacola.
I would guess it's the paranoia from having to hit the devil's dandelion,
Every 15 minutes.
every 15 minutes. That's what I'm guessing. But she's on the phone with Deuce. You know, the guy who says he no longer represents her or him. And what's the first thing he tells her to do? Say nothing. Oh, isn't that interesting? As Deuce is already within my deposition, he's already admitted that his clients, which are no longer his clients, and yet he's still telling the judge that he is still representing them in the background. He admits they're guilty. Now, I find this interesting because George was just saying junk and things along those lines. What terms does he use that for? Our handwriting expert, right?
He calls
Junk
her
science?
the junk science expert. Well, in my opinion, he's a junk stoned lawyer.
Okay, so they go out and they actually pay a junk handwriting
Science expert
who's
says a sham. Yeah. He's a sham.
Who they pay him to say that I somehow was replicating LIEnette's handwriting and I posted the signs. Now, here's the interesting part about this. Number one, nobody in their right mind is ever going to post the most horrific things about themselves on signs like this that has been posted to say that I did horrendous things to a little girl, 3-year-old at that time. Do you notice, George, that as their defense lawyer, he's never once come out in a defense and said they did not write the signs? Never once.
Never.
So
he's never tried to depose me. He's never tried to depose the handwriting expert. He's never tried to put holes or dents in her report. Instead, he's fighting that well, the signs were only placed for 40 minutes and only 3 people saw it and none of them believed it, because he knows his lawyer, his attorney,
He knows
attorney,
his clients, but
are
not his
guilty,
clients. Yeah.
his junk stoned
Clients. Yeah, okay.
are
I gotcha.
guilty and
Yeah.
did write the sign. Felisa, who's their PR voice, even said, well,
Even admitted it.
well, Michelle admitted to writing one of the signs.
Even admitted it. So if they were innocent, first and foremost, their lawyer who is defending them, who isn't defending them, but is defending them, I can't figure it out either, would have said they never, ever, ever wrote the signs. But the defense is the signs were only seen by 3 people. And those 3 people didn't believe it. And they were only up maybe 40 minutes. He knows they're guilty.
He's there right now. John just went to take his notes. He'll be right back up.
One of the things that LIEnette has documented about John and her meds, well, there's many things. He mixes them with strong drink.
His meds, yes.
Yeah.
She's even called him a rug dealer.
Ah, yes.
We have it all in writing.
Selling
Via envelope.
Via envelopes, yeah, to other females in Northport. What really is going on that purgatory? Why did a fence need to go up? Now, here's one of the things we do understand, we realize. Part of the fence going up on one portion of a 4-sided property is that they were trying to set me up. They were trying to say that I was breaking a law with my camera videoing for my own protection and for accountability as I go by. I mean, they've said this over and over again. As a matter of fact, there's an open criminal case right now. Levy County Sheriff cannot be trusted, pure and simple. And so they're trying with Felisa, that walrus, that tusked walrus. No tusk, tusk, but no teeth, no teeth. They're doing everything they can, trying to get me arrested, when these are the fools that actually stalked us, defamed us, and constantly have harassed us, and that are the defendants in 2 federal courts right now, cases. And so MacInLIAR comes on the scene, and you got Deuce on the phone with LIEnette, and now we've got Crook grabbing his meds. Or is he running and hiding again because he knows he just broke the civil protection order?
Could be.
Let's find out.
No, John's coming out right now. He was already in the camper taking his meds. Well, you said to call him anytime it happens.
This is pretty interesting. What did you just hear?
We've tried to put on closed captions so that it could pick up some of the words, because we understand that it is difficult to understand what they're saying. But
closed captions on YouTube and transcripts are never 100% correct.
No, that is correct. It's not always accurate. But you can hear LIEnette telling Deuce, well, you told me to call you if it happens.
Okay, now here's the interesting part. We're going to do some foreshadowing here. LIEnette is going to lie through her tooth again. And as a matter of fact, she's going to make such a bold lie that it makes you question 2 things. Number 1, why didn't she call Deuce with this bold-faced lie that she's about to tell MacInLIAR? And number 2, why didn't MacInLIAR actually put this bold-faced lie in his written report?
Well, number 3, let me add a third one. Okay. Why didn't she call Levy County Sheriff and report it?
Well, let's find out what this lie is.
Hello.
Okay.
Are you Mr. John? Do you have any idea why? Oh, are you sick?
Bye.
Yeah. I don't want to get that.
Andrew!
Okay.
Come here! Now, hurry!
You're okay. Do you have any idea why I'm out here? I'm not saying you're in trouble. I'm not saying you're not. Do you have any idea?
Probably because Hales is going to Ohio and you needed content to tell a judge.
So he lied. He said John said something to him and he never did.
Yeah.
I was putting back up my thing. I shouldn't even be out today.
Yeah.
But I had to rehang this thing.
Sure.
And he came by and pretty much came to a crawling stop. And I turned to everybody and said, oh, CC, hide the child. I think I said it.
Hide the child?
Hide
Yes,
the child.
because
Okay.
I was out here with my daughter.
Okay.
And that's what he wants, is pictures of my kid.
Okay.
There's a lot to unpack here. So let's unpack the first thing. Do you know why I'm here? Well, Hales is going to Ohio. He needed content to tell the judge. All right, now let's narrow this down, first of all. If they don't do anything, there's never anything to take back to the judge. It's really that simple.
If they don't violate it,
Stop. Stop. Okay, now there's this other aspect. He needs content. We can continue to hear this from the anti-What the Hales ecosystem. They need content. You're even going to hear LIEnette say he's running out of content. We could film anything. Now, then there's people going, well, they're only filming this for views. They're only doing this for content. This is our life. And let me be very, very clear, okay? I want to be so crystal clear. The reason we are filming this is obviously to put eyes on it. We have individuals who have stalked us, harassed us, defamed us. We have a Levy County Sheriff Office that is completely and totally corrupt as far as we can tell. And you're going to see it with MacInLIAR. Obviously, we want people to see this. Accountability comes from eyes being on the situation. We don't want this to happen to anybody else. We want this to stop in our own lives. Exposing it, we thought would help stop it in our lives. And yet it doesn't. It continues to go on. Every single issue we have brought to the Levy County Sheriff Department thus far, which they've done nothing about, John and LIEnette have been found guilty. And yes, this incident is going to be going to the Ohio court as well. And yet MacInLIAR does nothing. So they say Hales needs content. I don't need neighbors across the street stalking me, defaming me, harassing me. Nobody needs that. And yes, I do need people to see this because Levy County Sheriff are trying to do something to me that is inappropriate, unethical, and frankly unlawful. They have an open criminal case on me, yet I've broken no laws. Okay, now they say I'm trying to film the child. Isn't that interesting? You mean the individuals that wrote signs saying things about me and a child, and then the ripple effect went on to others and others and others and others, and now all of these fools are in court? What do you have to say about it, George?
Well, I do have to say that we don't need to film them for content. We were on YouTube years and years and years, long before they came along, doing just fine. We're filming for our safety, for our protection, and for accountability. Levy County Sheriff says if you see something, say something, and they won't proceed unless it's recorded. What prompted us to record and film every single time we drove by was because John took his pew-pew and shot off at a Jeep that looked just like mine when we were up in Ohio. Yes. So, number one, for our safety. We do not trust those people, and they have an Ohio civil protection order for a reason. A court found them guilty of cyber stalking and of being dangerous. 100% dangerous.
But the child, we're filming the child. Now, let me be very, very clear. I'm extremely concerned for this child's safety. Extremely. And this child cannot defend herself in these conditions. And these conditions are unsanitary. These conditions are insane. Insane.
It's squalor, and it debunks why she moved to Otter Creek. She wants to hide the fact that she moved to Otter Creek to be close to us, What the Hales, who she found on YouTube, by saying, oh, I moved out here because my child has a life-threatening disorder, but they're living in disgust, squalor, and just on a dump.
We just heard Crook is sick. She can't have her child around anybody. But why is Crook then going, I said OCC, hide the child? So the child who can't be around anybody who's sick, which we have thousands of screenshots of LIEnette stating this publicly, all of a sudden is outside around Crook who's stating he's sick. Interesting.
This is the same guy that gave the child RSV. But she moved to Otter Creek to protect the child and get her away from viruses. But Crook is the one that almost unalived her, according to LIEnette, based on a video.
All LIEnette's information. We have all of it.
It was a Facebook Live video that she posted publicly online.
Now, let me be very clear. We have no desire to film any child whatsoever for any reason.
No.
We do have a extreme concern for this child's safety physically on this property, emotionally and mentally, from the abuse of these two individuals and what she goes through on a daily basis. And nobody in Levy County, nobody, especially MacInLIAR, is willing to do anything to protect her. The only thing that's ever going to happen to protect her is exposure and letting the planet know what's truly happening. It protects us. It protects her.
Another thing I'd like to add is that some of the officers with Levy County Sheriff have done their job. They have taken the report. They've been objective. They've been impartial. They've done their job. They've been professional. MacInLIAR, no.
No way.
He has not been objective, not been impartial. He's just been putting in his 2 cents and putting up opinions and comments, things that he should not be saying as a law enforcement officer.
And this guy should not be in law enforcement. It's extremely clear. It's
just needs,
out of his league. He's out of the league for
he
this.
He needs to zip it. He's doing a little too much of this, and this is multiple videos we've heard of him and him going off on his opinions and saying things that he shouldn't be saying as a law enforcement officer.
Sounds like he's got a personal vendetta.
The biggest concern is the state's attorney's office. They're the ones who drop the ball and choose not to do anything. When Crook got arrested, they chose not to do anything, even though one of the witnesses, an eyewitness, traveled back down in person, and because the other witness didn't have the funds to come back down, or something happened where he couldn't come back down, they just dropped it.
Interesting that we have yet to hear that Channel 20 put this story on the news station, on TV, because they needed content. I haven't heard that yet, but it was LIEnette who was running and begging Channel 20 to do an interview with her.
She said, if you want to hear the other side, you can come here.
Isn't that interesting?
Oh, wait a minute. What's going on there? What? What, they're filming? Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, boy. Let me get over there. Let me run.
My daughter's got a brand new Jeep. Okay. And she can't even drive the goddamn thing out there.
Wait. Sunday, the shows that I was selling all of her Christmas presents that everybody donated to her at the thing. I'm just telling you what he's doing.
Well, sure. No, I understand. But here's the thing. I don't know anything about that incident. All I know is what happened today.
Every
and that's what I'm here to
day
investigate.
it's something else.
I understand.
False accused of something.
What do you call it when a judge in a court finds you guilty? Not once, not twice, 3 times so far. Is that falsely accused?
It's not frivolous and not falsely accused. It's guilty.
Evidence.
With a capital G.
G for...
Guilty.
I agree.
I know. But that's why we come out. Okay? That's why. Okay?
He was out here.
Can you tell me what happened?
Yes, we were hanging the curtain there, blew down in the wind last night.
Yeah.
And the guy drives by with a camera, like this, holding her up.
Yeah.
Drives by real slow, almost like harassment.
Right.
And then John was yelling at Michelle.
Yeah.
He was yelling, hide the baby, or whatever.
So what's that?
Hide the baby.
Okay.
Hide the child.
Yeah. No, I got
Listen,
you.
I'm just talking to her.
Sure. Talking to... Is it Lynette or LIEnette?
Did you hear what MacInLIAR just asked her?
Wait, is it MacIntyre or is it MacInLIAR?
MacInLIAR.
Yeah, well, we definitely know we got a viewer. Somebody's watching What the Hales around the clock.
Why else would he ask her that? Is it LIEnette or Lynette?
All right, the other guy you're hearing is Andrew Campbell. He is in and out of the system in Levy County just nonstop. He is a known... He's a rug addict. He is another rug addict who we have exposed living on the property, and this child is in danger yet again. And LIEnette is publicly, and Crook has publicly stated, no, there's nobody. He doesn't live here. Oh, really? Well, listen to what is said to MacInLIAR.
It's not LIEnette.
It's Lynette?
Lynette, but I do not use that name. I never have. The only one who uses it is Hales.
Okay.
My name is Michelle.
Michelle. Michelle Preston. You prefer Michelle?
Yeah.
Okay. I got you.
I gotta say, this woman is not very good at lying. She's not very good at lying. She goes, I never go by LIEnette. I go by Michelle. Really? Because the court documents say otherwise. When she ran for council twice, she used LIEnette. That says otherwise. Her biological adult daughters only know her as Lacey.
What?
And then
Lacey?
her ex-stepchildren only know her as Lacey, which is her stripping dance pole name. Whatever.
Ruby! Ruby! Wait, who's George? Anybody know who George is? Okay, so we got Lacey, Ruby, Alexis. The list literally goes on and on.
It is. Her oldest daughter's name is Michelle.
She changes her name as she changes her location and the grifting.
39 plus aliases.
The scamming.
Alrighty. And then, what was your name, sir?
Andrew.
Andrew. Andrew what?
Campbell.
Campbell. I know we have your information. I know we have your information. I know we got his information. I don't know if we have your information. As always, I'm going to do a report on it. But definitively, John was not talking to Hales.
Not even directed towards him.
Okay. I have video of the incident. Hales provided me with that video. What you guys are saying corroborates what I saw in the video.
Why would MacInLIAR tell Andrew that he already has all his information?
That would be because Andrew's been arrested multiple times, and his information is already in the system.
Oh. And LIEnette says, yeah, we've got footage of it as well. Now, get ready for the lie, because there's going to be a very significant lie that doesn't show up in MacInLIAR's report. There's no camera footage given as evidence either, even though LIEnette says these things. And you've got MacInLIAR going, oh, yeah, your story corroborates what I saw. Except
he left out a very important detail why you called in the first place.
Except I wonder what Ohio is going to say. Well, we already know what they're going to say. The civil protection order was broken yet again, and Crook will be found guilty. Now, if we could get Ohio to actually go after MacInLIAR as well, that'd be great. In the court system, nobody should ever be contacting anybody about any of these individuals. That is our life story. And yeah, we hate that we have to live through this. But the only protection we have is to share all this.
So do we. We have camera of it.
So it corroborates what you're saying. That's what I heard on the video too. Hide the child or something similar. Additionally, OCC. But during that time, I could see that you were not looking at Hales. You were looking toward the other person.
And I'm sending videos to Under Sheriff Beecham every day.
Are you?
Yes.
Okay.
Every day, because Hales does this every day.
Oh no! Jeremy drives from his own property to his other properties that he's owned because he owns them, and he has every legal right on the road to drive from one to the other. Now, let me be extremely clear, because I think there's a massive misperception here on MacInLIAR, or he's just a pathetic liar. Our properties do not touch. 70-plus acres on the ranch property, 4-plus acres on the schoolhouse property. There's only one main driveway to the ranch house on the ranch property. And there's a U-shaped or horseshoe-shaped drive on the schoolhouse property. Those properties do not touch. They are not connected. There's property in between them. So, oh no, we're sending videos to Undersheriff every day of Jeremy driving on a public road, filming for my own safety. Jeez, if you don't want to do that, don't stalk people. They've been found guilty. Guilty. I've been found innocent. They're guilty. Who did something wrong here in this situation?
Look at the wall we got to fuck.
Mr. Campbell, how do you spell your first name?
All you who gave money for this pathetic fence that doesn't, number one, is illegal. It's in the right of way. Number two, you can see right over it. And then they put more tin on it, and you can see right over that.
The utility pole is behind it.
And they're hanging curtains and sheets and the whole deal. What are they trying to hide? But what's the thing that Crook is complaining about? It was a free freaking fence.
Free freaking fence, and he's complaining about the wall. For us, it's been a blessing, and for the entire street. Everyone has said it's been a blessing. They no longer have to look at that eyesore of a property, and they don't even have to worry about cleaning it, since she was so concerned that she had to clean up her property because they were going to come and take the child.
But unfortunately, I can still see it. I have a very large truck, and the road is well raised above the level of where the fence is. So I can smell it too. I wish it was way higher than it is.
AMBREW.
Okay, and Campbell, is that C-A-M-P?
B-E-L-L.
B-E-L-L. Date of birth?
8583.
It's a false police.
8583. Data, or good phone number to reach you at?
Pardon me?
Good phone number for you?
It's,
That's okay. Do you live at this address?
Yes.
You live here?
Did LIEnette just answer for Andrew?
You heard Sergeant, Lieutenant, whatever he is, whatever.
Lackey MacInLIAR. Lackey MacInLIAR. Okay.
Ask Andrew, who is the rug addict that lives on their property. Do you live here? And LIEnette answers for him.
Yes! That's interesting because I've exposed this as another rug addict living on the property, literally a revolving door of rug addicts around this child. This child is in danger. Pure and simple.
This is his second time living on the property.
And she has denied it, calling me a liar, calling George a liar. Constant. We're and yet...
Smoking mirrors is what she said. That's the term she likes to use.
Yes.
Smoking mirrors.
And yet everything, literally everything we say comes out as truth. Truth. Yet again,
and this
more
time it's
truth.
On Levy County Sheriff's their own video.
So all of you fools that believe her lies, you're not helping the child. You're actually encouraging them. You are emboldening them. You're supporting them to continue to have this child in very unhealthy situations, circumstances, living conditions with different individuals. Crook being one of them, LIEnette being another of them.
Well, her own attorney, not her attorney anymore, even said that her walking on the busy and dangerous Highway 19 was insane when she was pushing the child in a stroller.
Well, he's also called them white trailer trash. Well,
Can't argue there.
They don't have a trailer. I can't argue. They don't have a trailer. They don't have teeth either. No home, no trailer. They're in a shed with no plumbing.
Brilliant. And you have a Florida driver's license, correct? I don't need it right now, but if I can find about this name and date of birth?
No.
Okay. Cool.
It's a false police report. Is there a law against it?
It's so. Yeah,
The last four were as well.
Hold on. Yes and no. Okay. False police reports is more for somebody that is intentionally lying. Hold on. Hold on. It's for somebody that's knowingly putting out false information, and in this situation like this, I can't prove that. He can say that you guys were talking to him, right, all day, but I can't. How do I put it? That statute is more for somebody says, you hit me. And then evidence corroborates it. That never occurred. That incident never occurred.
Like putting signs up all around the town on major highways saying I ARPed a 3-year-old never occurred. Never would have occurred. Never will occur. That's false.
Or putting a sign up saying OCC.
Oh, yeah. Orange County choppers. Hide the child. Orange County choppers. I love them. Hide the child. I love Orange County choppers.
What does OCC stand for? Otter Creek.
MacInLIAR? Crook? Otter Creek Crook.
But talking about misunderstandings and whether Andrew or Jeremy believes that you were talking to him or whether you're talking to somebody else on the property, that statute doesn't apply.
Well, he got what he wanted. The camera that goes over our fence right now is recording you, and it's going to be on the internet tonight.
This is exactly what he wanted. He needs content.
Yeah.
He's out of content, and he's lost in court. I'm winning.
Yeah. Well,
I'm winning head over heels.
well, there you go. Okay.
Is your stupid meter on? Did you hear what LIEnette just said?
Too much. Okay, I can't take this.
He needs content
Oh, my
because he
goodness.
lost,
Oh,
and
my
I'm
goodness.
weaning. Coming
Oh, my
from
goodness.
the woman who says, my mom died, my mom didn't die.
Yeah.
Coming from the woman who filed frivolous lawsuits and voluntarily withdrew 3 of them within 1 year, and having multiple attorneys abandon her.
Oh, wait, hold a second. Coming from the woman who's been found guilty, as now has civil protection order against her, then found guilty of contempt, then found guilty again for contempt. Again, I can't stress this enough. Every issue we've brought to the courts, they've been found guilty of.
Yes.
This issue, they will be found guilty of as well. This is going to court. MacInLIAR's pathetic fool. He should never even be on the force. It will be guilt. 100%. Now, let's see.
How is she winning? Tell me how she's winning.
Well, she does have a lawsuit now, $55,000 plus damages going against her. Yeah,
which
for
isn't
filing
over
a
yet. It's
frivolous
still an
lawsuit.
active lawsuit.
Oh, she has sanctions and legal fees against her for the thumbnail case,
which she dodged the deposition for the trespass 5, right?
She also voluntarily dismissed the injunction that she was trying to get on me because there was absolutely nothing I did illegal as well.
Silverman, her attorney, has withdrawn and is no longer associated with her.
He was going to have to pay for that. Deuce won't even show up in Pensacola.
No.
This is just Absolute. How can she be?
Stark's
in trouble. Huge trouble. Huge trouble. How could anybody be so foolish to think she's winning? She's literally about to lose everything. She's being sued for $55,000 plus damages, sanctions, and legal fees. She has to pay our legal fees in Ohio. She's going back to court in Ohio for contempt yet again, and an extension, a permanent extension. We have proof they were attempting to hire a hitman. And
she's on two active federal lawsuits, which isn't over yet. So again, someone at home, please explain to me how she's weaning. I'm weaning, she says. He's losing. I'm weaning head over heel. That's a joke, just like her lawyer.
But I'm going to do a report, as always, okay? And we'll kind of go from there, right?
I didn't record this.
At this point, there's not going to be any kind of criminal charges or anything pressed, okay? I'm just going to unfound the whole incident, and I got his statement, I've got the recording, and I've got your statements and everything, so I'm good with how it lies right now. I'm not planning on doing
we already knew you were coming.
how do you know the cops are coming if you're innocent and you didn't do anything?
Did you hear her? Yeah. She said, we already knew you were coming.
Yeah. People who are guilty, who just committed a crime, who just broke civil protection orders, know that the cops are going to be called on them, and they're coming. That's it. Pure and simple.
And if you're filming every day, how come the cops don't show up every day?
Yeah, that's interesting. And they go on to say that I've tried to weaponize having a civil protection order. If I've weaponized a civil protection order, if you've weaponized a civil protection order, we would be at the flea market every weekend. And yet, to date, we have never ever gone, and we could. We have every legal right to.
We've driven past it 100 times, but we've never went there.
Year and a half, we've had one incident at Walmart. One incident at Walmart with Crook. One. How's that weaponizing a civil protection order when we live across the street from each other? Year and a half, one time.
Well, remember, I was at Walmart, and my cart almost hit their cart. That's how close it was. And LIEnette did the right thing by looking at him. He looked like panicked, and she's like, just say nothing, keep walking. And I let it go. If I was weaponizing it, I would have started filming them and making a stink out of it, and then calling Levy County Sheriff on them.
They actually did the right thing at that point. They left. And so you don't have to call the sheriff if they don't break the civil protection order. They are ordered to leave immediately. They leave. They left. Now, we've also are bringing the post office to us at the schoolhouse. They've been found guilty of breaking the civil protection order at the post office.
For her showing up at the post office. So we
don't even want to go anymore.
There were times where I was at the post office. This is before they started doing local pickup and picking up the packages from our whatnot auctions, where Crook would see me at the post office and he would keep driving. He did the right thing. If I was weaponizing it, I would have filmed him and called Levy County Sheriff.
The only time you know the cops are coming is when you did something illegal. There is no weaponization. They just blatantly keep breaking the civil protection order to the point where we put our dream property up for sale. So much so, we want nothing. We don't want them anywhere near us, ever. No. We know what food pantries they go to on what days because they've publicly posted it. Do you see us there dropping off donations, even though we do give towards those? Nope.
Well, they found out about it from watching our YouTube videos.
From watching us, from giving.
Going there and donating. We would be there volunteering if we were weaponizing our CPO.
Oh, do you think we'd be in Ohio right now if we were weaponizing the civil protection orders? I mean, we are here for court, but besides the point, we want nothing to do with them. They know they broke the law. That's why she says, we know you're coming.
We stopped out in front of my gate.
My cameras.
Earlier?
Earlier.
I was working over here.
Well, part of that was that Jeremy was talking about that sign over there, the OCC sign. And I was...
Orange County Shoppers.
So... Anyway.
Why does MacInLIAR cut him off with a anyway?
So if you remember, Crook told, when MacInLIAR asked him, do you know why I'm here? He's like, well, Hales drove by and I said, OCC, hide the child.
Oh, and now
Does that
OCC,
make any sense, what OCC stands for?
Orange County Choppers. And MacInLIAR knows he's lying. Knows he's lying. Doesn't call him out on it. Great detective work, MacInLIAR. We know you're watching. We know the entire office is watching. Great detective work. If it were me, you'd be fired immediately. You're pathetic. You're a coward for not protecting the people that actually have protection orders. For actually emboldening the criminals. OCC, Orange County Choppers. And so what is he going to do? Well, anyway, And then he puts in his written report, oh, it means Orange County choppers. They're big fans. Yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense there.
LIEnette lies for him.
Talking about the sign and how it's posted.
Somebody's talking to Polly. You're talking about getting me a Harley.
That's because we had the Northern Sons here for Christmas, and they brought my daughter a motorcycle. 7 of the fight group was here, and they brought her a motorcycle.
Well, I don't care about the sign necessarily. It's more about I was out here because when he called emergency services, when he called for a response, he mentioned that there was a sign. I was driving by before I made contact with him to see if I could see the sign, but it's on the inside of that property.
Right.
That's all it was.
25 feet.
And I want
So that's why I drove by before. Then I went to go respond to him. Then I watched the video. Then I came here.
So we're on the same page. Crook has already created a Facebook page called the Otter Creek Coward. The Coward of Otter Creek. OCC. Otter Creek Coward. Okay? Now, to catch them in their own lies again, you can see in many of our videos, this sign has been up way before Christmas. Way before Christmas. And it's correlated with the Facebook page. But I didn't call him about the sign. I called him about the verbal communication. It's the verbal communication. OCC, Otter Creek Coward, correlated with Jeremy Hales. Now, they've deleted the page, the spoilage of evidence. It's still, this sign is communication with me breaking the civil protection order. So MacInLIAR doesn't care, but I guarantee you the courts do.
Okay, and here's something I've asked him, and he said he was checking into it.
Okay.
We built a fence for privacy. We're behind it.
Right.
We put up shade cloth for privacy. Why is it not invasion of privacy? Why is it not harassment for him to continually do this and hold his arm up?
Somebody come by and video your property
Every single day. I mean, when does it become too much after 2.5 years?
I'm pretty sure if you don't stalk anybody, if you don't have civil protection orders against yourself, I'm pretty sure if you don't take out your firearm brandishment at people, there would never be any issues, would there?
Well, her math ain't mathin'.
No, it hasn't even been 2.5 years.
The cease and desist was issued May of 2023, and the civil protection order wasn't issued until October of 2023.
Yeah,
so we're in, what month are we in? April of 2025. So how is that 2.5 years?
Well, she doesn't even know her name, let alone the aspect of doing math. So I wouldn't trust her, MacInLIAR, Crook, or Andrew Campbell, any of them, to do any math whatsoever. But when it becomes too much is when you stalk somebody, when you're found guilty in the court, when you're found guilty and guilty and guilty and guilty and guilty, and you have to pay everybody's legal fees because of your guilt. I would say at some point, normal people would stop the behavior. Except there is nothing normal about these freaks. There is nothing normal about MacInLIAR or Levy County Sheriff Office. Frankly, I don't know how we even got in the Twilight Zone, but we're here.
We're living it every day, and we film for our safety and for documentation purposes.
I get it. That's stuff to pursue in court and civil stuff, but it doesn't have anything to do with any kind of criminality type stuff.
But
Not for that.
Just keep giving it to Beecham and the lawyer
there
are
are
getting together.
many statutes against it, and we have them on.
I understand. And those are things to bring up, Last time I was here, I talked to you about that, and how reasonable expectations of privacy are basically in changing rooms, bathrooms, etc., not necessarily on your
We
own
read
property
the whole
like this.
thing. When your property is not fenced in,
Yeah.
you have no expectation of privacy because
Bless
you're
you.
walking out where anyone can see you.
Yes.
Once you build a fence,
Right.
that changes. I now have given myself privacy because I put a fence up to block me
It's
from all others.
possible, okay? But again, that's more of and I don't want to argue with y'all
I
about
know,
it.
we're not
Once
trying to
I frame
argue, we're
once
just,
I frame her bedroom in on that side of the house, that's him peeking into the window. That's going to be different.
It all depends. It all depends.
Crook unveils their master plan to try and get Jeremy arrested for peeking into a child's window. So let's be extremely clear. Number one, they don't have a bedroom for the child in the barn.
No.
As a matter of fact, their permit has expired. They can't even legally frame anything in right now. So we've got that issue.
The child's living in a shed.
Okay. Now we got another issue. that window can be seen from the public view, anybody on the road. So good luck. Good luck. Even though we do know Levy County Sheriff has an open criminal investigation based off of this, with Fleesa trying to lead the charge, with Deuce going, arrest Jeremy, he's peeping in on this child. None of it has to do with peeping in on a child. But there is the whole aspect that this child is in tremendous amount of danger.
Yes.
And this child does need to be saved. And somebody needs to step up and do something. So Levy County Sheriff won't do it. Children's Services won't do it, or Department of Health and Family won't do it. Nobody will do anything. And as we all sit back and do nothing, then all we allow to do is the bad people or the bad things to happen to innocent individuals, such as little children. It does not matter to us that she's male, female. She's a child. She's helpless.
She is a child, and it's always, from day one, there's always been a concern for the child. So for those that are saying that we are predators or whatever it is, so are they calling DCF and Child Protective Services workers and employees predators too, because they're concerned for the safety of children?
And here's the most interesting thing. They've constantly have invited Busted Can of Biscuits to record this child. They have allowed Busted Can of Biscuits. They've thrusted Busted Can of Biscuits to take her into a haunted area in the Chiefland Flea Market. And if you know anything about his past, dig! You're going to find out why he was expelled from school. He never graduated, and he didn't even get his GED. Why don't you go and look at this information? These are the same fools trying to get me arrested, and yet they're inviting a known person with known issues.
Well, don't forget Andrew, who's currently living on their property, along with the multiple other people that lived on their property that could have been a danger to the child.
Well, let's not forget that LIEnette has claimed that Crook has done inappropriate things to the child.
Landon, her grandson.
That once she didn't get what she wanted from Lloyd, all of a sudden Lloyd was grooming her.
Well, don't forget Waylon too.
Waylon,
her grandson's
oh my
buddy.
Goodness, the list goes on. LIEnette has even publicly stated that Marli Huge abuses her. Is there anybody in this world that has not abused LIEnette in her own demented, unhinged mind?
Like I said, it all depends. And I don't know exactly which window you're talking about. I totally get it. I totally get it. I totally get your frustration.
Fake calls. I wrote things. I put signs. We've already had the best handwriting expert in the United States look at that handwriting, and you know whose it came up? His.
Okay.
The stupid meter is going off again. Did you hear what LIEnette just said?
All right. Well, she's copied everything I've said, which is typical. She tries to look like you. She tries to sound like me.
We moved to Otter Creek. She moves to Otter Creek. I buy a Jeep. She drives a Jeep, different kind of Jeep.
So, best handwriting expert in the U.S., except this guy who they hired. Oh, well, if that was true, if he was the best, and if what he was saying was true, why wouldn't they enter that as evidence in the federal case?
Yeah, when Randy asked for their evidentiary and their discovery, nothing was turned in. Nothing. Isn't that interesting?
That's beyond interesting.
His report wasn't turned in. Turned out this guy was a lying scam artist just like them.
And let's not forget, as we've already mentioned once, Deuce has not once has brought this up in the federal court system. The issue that he's brought up is, we know she did it, and here's the issue. They were only up for 40 minutes.
Only 3 people saw it, and
three
none
people.
of those
They
3
didn't
people
believe it.
it.
They didn't believe it. It's not, it was Jeremy's handwriting. Not once.
Never once during the deposition.
Not once has that been brought up.
Didn't even depose me. He lied and said he was going to depose me. Lied and said he was going to depose the handwriting expert. Didn't even do that.
Liars!
Some of the best liars in the United States.
Not mine. Not mine. So we're doing everything that we can to beg him to leave us alone.
Oh, I got you.
And it's not stopping, because you know why? Because he's making $100,000 a month.
No, he's not. closer to almost 2.
Interesting. She knows my income, but she's not a stalker, right? Let's be really clear. Number one, that's not my income. And number two, why is Andrew saying I make $200,000 a month? This is a rug addict that doesn't have a job, talking to another addict that doesn't have a job, living with addicts that don't have jobs, that literally take and take and take and grift and grift and grift and scam and scam and scam from others. Here's the moral of the story. Anybody can make any type of salary a month if they're willing to put the work in. And you know why MacInLIAR is in the position that he's in? Because he's not willing to put the work in to do something else. He's horrible at his job. He's showing the planet how bad he is at his job. Levy County Sheriff's Office should do something about this. Will they? No.
It is kind of embarrassing. He should say less.
He
Take
should
the report. Say less.
Take the report. Oh, that's right. He should also arrest Crook for breaking the civil protection orders yet again.
OCC. He wrote a sign just for it.
Well, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt at $100,000 a month. This is what he's making on YouTube.
Makes money.
YouTube, TikTok, which is now gone for a minute. I don't know all of them, saying on all of them, but you know what I'm talking about. He's on every one of them. Facebook, he's monetized. YouTube is monetized. Do you know how many we are monetized on? None. We have none. None. I have one Facebook of my own and one page. Do you know what I put on my page? Christian crap.
That's an ordained minister?
You heard it first, right from the ordained minister's mouth. She says she posts Christian crap. Christian crap. Is that true?
Does that mean
I don't
Deuce?
think that's true.
Does that mean Deuce? Now, here's the thing that I really struggle between them and Deuce. Crook and LIEnette are 100% magma. Magma. Again, we don't get political. Yes, I have a political leaning. Yes, she has a political leaning. We don't talk about it. And Deuce is the exact opposite. He is so proud that he is so liberal. These two groups should never have ever even met. As a matter of fact, they hate each other online. And I'm sure that they would if it wasn't for LIEnette and Crook scamming and then Deuce scamming LIEnette and Crook. Interesting. But Christian crap? Seriously, I would expect to hear that from Deuce. I would expect to hear that from Fleesa, especially with the understanding of knowing what she claims to be. And yet, this is an ordained minister. But she's not the only ordained minister in Otter Creek. As a matter of fact, many of the residents and the guests in Otter Creek, they've all had a competition. How fast can they get ordained?
Yeah. Even Lloyd got ordained before he went to go live with his daughter.
Less than 30 seconds. Beat that Christian crap. Let's look at some of that Christian crap that she posts. Oh, by the way, she has way more than one page. At our last count, it was 13. And she posts regularly on 3.
Well, let him go do his job.
No, I'm just getting frustrated.
I get your frustration. I wish there was more I could do for
The
you.
other day he scared the hell out of me. I was standing over there. The truck was over there. And when he drove by and stopped in front of my property,
That's what he did today.
it looked so much like he was right over the fence. And I didn't know if that was a gun in his hand or what. I ducked down behind my truck.
Whoa.
Wow.
What a lie. What a lie.
Just oozing out of her mouth. Do you hear the fake cries and the fake cheers? That's the exact same act she projected the very first day that I met her on the road in front of Brian and Tina's house.
This is what she does if she doesn't get what she wants. So now the officer, MacInLIAR, won't do anything. So now she's learned from the process. Well, she learned from the process with Wes and Crook. If I say he had a pew-pew, all of a sudden they're going to arrest. Crook was in jail for 40 days.
Yeah.
Now, here's the interesting part on this huge, massive lie. Number one, she claims she has cameras watching everything.
Yes.
There are no camera footage clips for evidence whatsoever. Nor does she offer it whatsoever.
Nope. And wouldn't she have called the police, Levy County Sheriff, immediately if she honestly thought that he was here holding a pew-pew?
So here we go. So didn't call anybody, didn't contact anybody, said nothing. And here's the other aspect of this. MacInLIAR doesn't put it in his report. So no camera evidence, doesn't contact anybody, and it's not in the written report. Wow!
Isn't that interesting?
Very.
Isn't that interesting? Her story went from, he films us every day, and Andrew even said he's holding his camera out of the window every day, to, oh my God, I wasn't sure if it was a gun, to, how can he possibly be filming and holding a pew-pew at the same time? Which one is it?
Except she says, I didn't know if he had that in his hand or not. Except she's already told MacInLIAR every day he goes by holding a camera.
And
we
she's
send
giving
the
the
videos
to
every day to Beecham.
Where is that
Now,
video?
Let's be clear that in MacInLIAR's written report, he states that I raised my arm to film over the fence, which is a complete and total lie. And all the video footage from LIEnette's own cameras will prove that I put my arm right on my window, I rest my arm, and I hold my camera like I would, like any other tool, just like MacInLIAR has a camera, or excuse me, not even a camera. He's got a microphone right here. Doesn't matter if his microphone's here. It's the tools of his trade.
He also has the dash cam footage that sits on his dash in his vehicle. So Jeremy filming, whether I'm filming, Deanna's filming, Travis, anybody that drives there to film for their own protection, their own safety, it's no different than having a dash cam.
And they're not taking my legal right to film for my protection and my accountability, whether it be LIEnette, whether it be Crook, whether it be Andrew, whether it be MacInLIAR, or the entire Levy County Sheriff Office. I have a legal right to live there. I have a legal right to go back and forth on a public road to my privately owned properties, and I have a legal right to film as I traverse back and forth for my own protection. And so do you. And so does everybody else.
It makes me wonder, how come is she turning in video footage of me driving by filming every day to Beecham as well?
If she's not, why not? Why not Deanna? Why not everybody else that goes by the road? Why not?
It's getting to the point where it's getting old. It's getting scary.
Amazing. They stalk us. They harass us. They defame us. They're found guilty in the courts. Levy County Sheriff won't do anything about it, but Ohio will. And now it's scary for them. Since when have we ever brandished a firearm towards them? Never. No, that's happened to me.
We've never promoted any type of threats. We've never threatened any type of fighting words, any type of violence. They got a free freaking fence and they're behind the wall. What's there to be scared of?
Pay attention to what MacInLIAR is about to say. It's horrible.
And I'm afraid for my daughter. You know, they had a emergency hearing. He got the biological family after 4 years, now 5. I've had her on adoption, to go into an emergency hearing in Sarasota County and try to take my daughter from me. And the judge said, "Are you freaking crazy?" And Hales did that. It's getting too much.
I get it.
Let him go write his report up. You see that?
Keep doing what you're doing. Keep fighting the good fight. You know, hopefully it'll get better. I wish there was more I could do for you this time. I really can't. It's kind of out of my hands. It's a higher power at this point, but I'm doing what I can. You know, I'm trying. I don't know. It's hard to say. Okay, but
Just send it out to Beecham tomorrow morning.
Dr. Beecham. I have a case number if you want to come out to my car and grab it. I forgot it off the top of my head.
Fight the good fight? You mean like going after a protection order in Florida and then dismissing it? How about the thumbnail case and then dismissing it? How about the Trespass 5 case and then dismissing it? I've spent over $320,000 so far trying to get these freaks out of our lives. They should have never, ever even followed us. And he's telling them to fight the good fight. Listen, if I have to spend $320,000 to keep MacInLIAR off of the force so that he doesn't do this to other people like he's doing it to us, I'll fight that fight with him. I have no problem trying to protect other people who can't afford to protect themselves.
So what I'm hearing is him telling her, keep fighting the good fight, when he doesn't know any of the background story. We have a eyewitness that saw her and Crook put up the signs. We have a handwriting expert that confirms that this matches her handwriting based on all of the handwritten motions she submitted to the Levy County courts. But yeah, LIEnette, keep fighting the good fight.
And we have a corrupt sheriff office with individuals such as MacInLIAR who come with preconceived ideas. Oh, YouTuber, it must be bad because it's a YouTuber. Does he feel the same way about Channel 20? I'm just curious. Does he feel the same way about people who write magazine articles or newspaper
like
articles?
Terry Whitlis.
Oh, yeah. What about Terry Whitlis
or
in
any
Levy County?
channel news that does an article like Levy Citizen? Does he think that's the same thing?
This is the largest medium news platform on the planet, YouTube. And it's our life. And it's been interrupted by these freaks. And MacInLIAR intentionally, deliberately, with malice, and I think it's very easy to prove that as you look at the reports and the video footage, he has a bent against us because of YouTube. Because when you turn a camera on, and the camera never lies, you see the reality of what's happening. And he's a horrible, horrible officer.
Yes, I do. Or actually, I could just ask this best friend.
Can you play outside?
761 Levy. Can you advise the last four of my case number, please?
The child's angry. She's having behavioral issues. Always try to tell her, no, you can't go outside because the bad man's out there. It's stupid. And if it ain't him, it's idiot over here.
Yeah.
Right. At least Diana West is gone, or I don't even know where she went, but at least they're not having sex in front of our property anymore.
Do you hear the mental abuse of this child? Causing irrational fear, claiming that you can't be near the bad man. You can't, Travis, Jeremy, George, and then Deanna is brought up. Can you, this is insanity.
This woman is disgusting and insane. She told Levy County Sheriff that she has cameras pointing in that direction, which is towards Tubetown, and then the other direction facing still the 70 acres. If that was true, where is the footage?
Where's the footage of this adult activity going on?
Where's the police report?
Nothing? Nothing, just like the pew-pew, nothing. Here's the reality. What she just did was sealed yet another case of defamation. Now, I can very openly share with you that both Travis and Deanna are pursuing defamation cases against her. Now, I can't guarantee it's headed that direction. I can guarantee that they are in talks with our legal team as well in regards to what has been said, which is 100% false. And all this woman does, if she doesn't get her way, is she turns everything into these grotesque adult situations. And keep in mind, the child's listening to all of this, is exposed to every bit of this. There's no boogeyman on the other side of the fence. The horrible people to be scared of are contained behind the fence.
26, thank you. Two 501-0243. And that's my business card and the case number. Like I said, it's just going to tie with this incident. It's going to be unfounded. There's no criminal aspect to this. Okay.
We would never say anything to him.
Just,
Never.
you know, if he's looking for ammunition, don't give him any ammunition. You know?
All he was doing was fixing that fell down.
I know, I get it. And that's what I saw. I saw you up on the ladder. I saw him down on the ground in the video. Okay, I saw it. I saw what you guys doing. So you guys, it's all corroborated. That's fine.
Isn't it stupid of him to let you see a video which absolutely shows that we're telling the truth?
I don't know.
The freaking idiot.
It's called content.
That's all it is.
He's content.
It's going to be, he didn't have
Yeah.
a show for tonight.
I'm sure I'll be on the internet again.
There'd be no need to put MacInLIAR on the internet if there wasn't a need for accountability in his position. If he had actually acted like a true officer, like a true detective investigating, which he's not a detective, he's a lieutenant. And if he was a detective, he's a horrible one.
Well, he self-promoted himself to a detective.
Oh, okay. And if he didn't lie in his reports, if he wasn't biased, no need. But the people of Levy County, they need to know that they have horrific individuals like this on the sheriff office in these positions. It's not okay. And so anybody, I would encourage you, if you have any interactions with MacInLIAR, by all means, you need to record for your protection. And it needs to go on the internet so people know. So as Crook goes in there and goes, it's all about content. It's all about, we hear this over and over again. It's so old. They go, they're doing it for views. Of course we're doing it for views. We want the people in Levy County to see what's truly happening, to see who MacInLIAR truly is, to know what's happening to this child, to know what's happening in our life with these freaks. We want you to be safe. We want you to be protected. And when MacInLIAR won't protect you, when MacInLIAR will lie in reports, and you're going to see what actually happened on that day, and you already know Ohio is going to find them guilty, this has to be exposed. It is truly the only protection we have. I truly believe this. I think the only reason why I haven't been arrested by Levy County Sheriff Office right now is because they know my camera is running 100% of the time on them. And they know if they were to do something like that, there would be such mass accountability. There's always a reason. And by the way, where are the cameras in the birdhouse? Where are the cameras across from Tubetown? And Crook saying, this is going to be on the internet tonight. And yet it wasn't. Isn't that odd? It wasn't. And these fools continue to behave this way, to act this way, and put us in a position to where we have to film for our own protection. And then we have to upload it for our own protection. Because if we didn't, guess where I'd be right now? Because LIEnette would be saying, he pulled out the... All lies. And MacInLIAR is one of the liars with them.
Yeah, he didn't have a show for tonight, now he does.
We'll see. All right, but anyway.
Hey, you have yourself a good one.
Appreciate it. Thank you, folks. Today?
Today, yesterday, I have
Just that one stuff.
Well, this morning,
Oh, yeah, just one time.
can you guys hear his gate opening by the time he opens his gate over there?
No.
When he
Oh, I
leaves
can
his
hear a
property,
diesel.
you just hear but you can't hear the gate. You just hear his truck.
Oh, you're a diesel.
You're almost to the point of seeing what really happened that day. And I make mention in that video, they can hear the gate and they can hear the diesel. And Crook just admits it. What's he say? We hear the diesel.
We hear the diesel, and then you hear LIEnette trying to hush him up, like, no.
She's about to do that. Because every time I drive by, Crook comes running to the gate. I've seen him peeking. I have him on film, peeking through the gaps, through the holes.
Or his phone's
constantly,
over the gates,
constantly,
recording.
Constantly. They always hear me coming. And he always runs to see me. And what's he supposed to do per the civil protection order? Go the other way.
Oh, but wait, I thought that you use it for content, and because you're losing in court and she's winning, and that you need it for content.
Well, hold a second. LIEnette's about to shut him up because he's throwing himself under the bus. And it's usually LIEnette that throws Crook under the bus.
No,
There's no diesels in this town.
no. We have cameras on the fence.
Yeah.
The camera points down the road that way, and one points down the road this way. So every time a car, any car,
Yeah.
because of the West thing, because of all of that, every time a car comes into my camera view, my phone goes off. So I look every single time.
Remember how he
He's
tried...
lying and saying we can hear his gate, so we go watch for him. We can't hear nothing.
I was just curious.
Go have him open the gate for you and stand over here.
Very quiet.
How could
No, I can't hear it.
No, it's just all on the video. All he did was leave that gate, came out, drove past y'all, and then just went to the front gate and went right back into his property. In the video.
So that, ooh, see? He's doing, that's going to Ohio.
So,
That's going to Ohio.
well, use that case number because the video will be attached as part of the report, so you can pull that basically I'm going to write the report. Once it gets approved by my supervisors, you can pull it as evidence. Okay.
Ooh, there you go. There goes the no contest order in Ohio because Sean had given it to the judge. Did you hear what he just said? He drove out of that gate, filmed us, and went right into that. It wasn't that he was filming because he was going somewhere. He did it on purpose, and this now proves it. We have proof.
This may be the first time LIEnette was ever correct. This is going to Ohio court. 100%, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, she's very off, and so is MacInLIAR in regards to what happened. I left the ranch property. I went down my road, which, by the way, I own the ranch property. It's a public road. Regardless of where I'm going, regardless of where I'm coming from, it makes no difference. I can drive back and forth all day if I want. That's not the case of what I did. You're going to see in the video, I left the ranch house where I slept that night, and I went to the schoolhouse where we work. It's that simple. And MacInLIAR is trying to say that I drove back and forth, or LIEnette is misinterpreting it, saying I drove back and forth. This is the same fool the last time in court who goes, I want to submit my evidence of her video. And she submits the video of John in the road, and they are both found in contempt of court because of her video. So now she wants this to go in as evidence. It's absolutely going in evidence. They broke the civil protection orders again. MacInLIAR is a complete and total fool, doesn't even understand how our property works, doesn't obviously understand the law either. It's a public road. I can drive all day on it if I want to.
He made it sound like you left the ranch, the main driveway from the ranch, and then you turned into Tubetown.
What a MacInLIAR. What else can you say? And you're going to see what really happened in the actual video, which is interesting because MacInLIAR came to get the video from me, not at the ranch property, but at the schoolhouse property. Properties that are not connected in any way, shape, or form, and I have to get through public roads to get to my multiple properties. Just as if I was going to the ranch house to my Cedar Key condos. I have to use the public roads, which I have every right to, and I have every right to film, regardless if it's for my protection or not, even though that is what I do it for my protection. Of course this is going to Ohio court.
You're missing it. We have our first proof.
But anyway, that is part of that video. Like I said, you can reference it with that case number. Okay.
I'm excited by that. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay.
That's going to Sean right now.
You hear LIEnette mentioning a Sean. Oh, this is going to Sean in Ohio. Yep. This is a guy who has a YouTube channel.
It has for quite some time.
And Bruce found him on YouTube and solicited him on YouTube.
I think you meant Deuce, but keep going.
What did I say?
Don't worry about it. It's Deuce.
So he represented them in the contempt of court hearing, the latest one where they were both found guilty, right? Yeah. And he's the same lawyer that told the judge, Your Honor, we have no evidence.
As LIEnette was screaming over Zoom,
we have tons of evidence. No, but she was losing. Remember, she was losing her voice. I have plenty of evidence.
Oh, and this is the same lawyer who, for the first time in the history of my Ohio team's tenure as lawyers, received an apology email from this lawyer saying, I apologize for the behavior of Deuce, LIEnette, Crook, and he has withdrawn from representing them.
And
he wants nothing to do with them. I wonder what MacInLIAR would think about that. MacInLIAR, since you're watching, why don't you represent them in court? You obviously do such a good job.
So again, explain to me how LIEnette had another attorney, a free attorney, by the way, withdraw and abandon her.
Number 4.
How is she winning again?
Was there anything else I could help you with?
No.
You guys with?
No, don't get sick though.
I'll try my best. I'd rather not. All right, you guys need anything else, please let me know, okay?
Me and the baby, we can't even stay in the children because the baby could die.
Don't get filled with oh, you gotta put the game.
I have to.
No, I can shut it probably.
We have to keep it tight here because otherwise you can see through.
I understand.
Oh, that is one thing. Knowing that he's in out of here, that camera right there.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything. The birdhouse is a camera. There's a camera right underneath that YouTube button There's a camera. There's another camera, a field trail cam on that little post.
That's okay. You guys could just keep doing what you're doing, okay?
We are. We're trying to stay the hell away from it.
Okay. Have a good day.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you.
Have you been able to locate this camera in the birdhouse yet?
So she stated it as it was fact that there's a camera in the birdhouse on Tubetown.
What are we, Hunger Games? And we have mockingjays that are robots that have cameras in their eyes and report back to us?
The last I checked, no, that did not exist on Tubetown. We do not have a camera in the birdhouse. So again, consider the source. She is a proven lying liar and one of the best in the United States.
So let's see what actually happened this day. Why did I call? Keep in mind, Crook comes down off the ladder. He flicks me off. There's nonverbal communication. He's calling me the OCC, the Otter Creek Coward. And again, there's an entire Facebook page to match up with that. It just goes on and on. The camera doesn't lie. This is what happened. And how in the world can they complain about me slowing down when they put up, is it 2 signs or 3 signs now?
There's a sign facing this direction and a sign facing this direction to slow down that they have children playing.
They post, LIEnette, that I'm going 75 miles an hour down the road. So then I slow down every time I go by the property. And they complain about that. There is no making them happy. But here's what really happened on that day. And it is all going into court. And again, it proves that LIEnette's a liar. It proves that Crook's a liar. And it proves that MacInLIAR is a liar. Unfortunately, it's time to drive past these psychos. There's another gunshot. And did you hear the beeping of the gate? There's another gunshot. Now, off literally right over there is the hunting camp. And you heard the beeping of the gate, which carries, just like you can hear the gunshots next door, Crook and LIEnette can hear the gate, and I have to drive by. I'll have to drive by again tonight to take care of the chickens. I've got George in a safer place. Neither of us feel safe now. The one thing we have to do, we have to pull the mirror in because the vehicle is so big. If the Levy County Sheriff don't have it on camera and if the mirror is blocking, then they say it didn't happen. I also have to put the windows down no matter what temperature is, because if they don't hear it, and Crook keeps talking and so does LIEnette. So here we go. Let's hope we're safe. Notice all the trash. Completely and totally trash. Hopefully we'll be safe. I know LIEnette posted, oh, look at that, the Jeep. Crook's yelling. There you go. They got another crackhead living on the property too. See how he won't show his face right now? We already know who it is. So she posted that she's at the flea market this morning. She's obviously not at the flea market. There's Crook. You can see here Crook. Okay, so you heard him say, you see that? So he turned specifically to talk to me, and he called me the OCC, which he put this sign up right there. Nobody knows what it is yet, but this is another one he just breached. And this is why we have to film. He just breached the protection order yet again. You heard all the communication. That's why the windows go down. That's why the mirrors come in. These people are unhinged, psychotic. And the funniest part is she literally posted this morning that she was at the flea market. Well, we can see that's debunked. And another lie, she's not at the flea market. She's right there. Now the dude that's there, that's the dude that was stealing Winn-Dixie food and giving it to them illegally. He also, if it's the exact guy that I think it is, which I think it is, he also went to jail for rugs and he's living on the property. Have we seen this story before? Constantly, oh, somebody else with rugs on the property. Oh, somebody else with rugs on the property. Oh, somebody else with rugs on the property. Non-stop. So what do? They have somebody else on the property because they are in such desperate need of any kind of shelter that they will go, well, you can stay here if you do this, this, and this. Psychotic. Yeah, he just broke the civil protection order again.